Manasseh was the son of King Hezekiah, and he became the king of Judah at the age of 12 and ruled for over 55 years. Now, in the history of all the Israelites kings, Manasseh is mostly remembered for his idolatry and wickedness. Now, let's read Kings chapter 21 from verse 1 to 6 to see what Manasseh really did to make him that evil. Manasseh was 12 years old when he became king of Judah, and he ruled in Jerusalem for 55 years. His mother was Hephzibah. Following the disgusting practices of the nations whom the Lord had driven out of the land as his people advanced, Manasseh sinned against the Lord. He rebuilt the pagan places of worship that his father Hezekiah had destroyed. He built altars for the worship of Baal and made an image of the goddess Asherah, as King Ahab of Israel had done. Manasseh also worshipped the stars. He built pagan altars in the temple, the place that the Lord had said was where he should be worshipped. In the two courtyards of the temple, he built altars for the worship of the stars. He sacrificed his son as a burnt offering. He practiced divination and magic and consulted fortune tellers and mediums. He sinned greatly against the Lord and stirred up his anger. Now, when we look at that passage spiritually, we will discover that it was the worship of other gods that pushed him into being that evil. We can see the things that he did. He even sacrificed his son for the gods he was worshiping. Now, this takes us to Exodus chapter 20, verse 3 to 5, where God warned human beings not to worship other gods except himself. From the example of Manasseh here, we can realize that the reason God said we should not worship other gods was so that those other gods would not push us into committing evil as Manasseh did. But now the amazing part of this story is that after all the evil that Manasseh did, he was finally captured by the Assyrians. And while in the Assyrian captivity, he returned back to God, prayed for forgiveness, cried unto the Lord for forgiveness, and do you know that God forgave Manasseh? Now you can go to 2 Chronicles chapter 33 to read the whole story of Manasseh, and you will discover that after all this great evil, God still forgave Manasseh. Now what does this teach us? It teaches us that if you had unknowingly left God to worship other gods and you have realized the evil that these gods are pushing you into doing, the evils these gods are pushing you to commit, there is still an opportunity and a very great chance for you to return back to God and pray for his forgiveness, and he will definitely forgive you as he forgave Manasseh. So finally, we can understand from this story of Manasseh that the reason God told us not to worship other gods except him is because it's so that those gods will not push us into committing evil and destroying both ourselves and other people in the long run. Now, we also learn from this story that if we unknowingly turn to other gods, if we realize ourselves and come back to God, he still has another chance. He is going to forgive and set us right. I also have a full message that really goes deeper into this topic of God asking us not to worship other gods. So you can check the comment section of this video for a link to watch that video. And please don't keep this video to yourself. Remember to share it to others so that someone out there who is into idol worship can discover the knowledge of this truth and repent and turn to God and be saved. Remain blessed.